And now we wait for people to get in. I never know where to find the link. Timestamps. Hello! We will be waiting for a few minutes. Hello! I'm a little bit tired right now, but that's okay. Oh, hello. Hello to everybody! Thank you, Meme Master. Greetings. I see you, Maddie. I am doing okay. You might hear me cough because that's what I always do. Why did it mute? I am doing fine. Oh, demo mode is exiting. Okay. Hello. I'm doing good. Interesting choice, Hydra. How have I been recently? I've had a strange energy lately. New format? What's this about? Okay. So, on my gameplay channel, it eventually devolved into me trying to play through a book called 1001 Video Games You Must Play Before You Die. The book is terrible. I would not recommend it to anyone. But the concept is something that I've been fascinated by for a long time. And so my gameplay channel kind of just devolved into trying to fix it, I guess. And last time on stream, people suggested I do, something interesting here to keep things interesting. Because this is an animation channel, and it would make most sense for me to talk about animation, but I can't exactly watch animations on stream because of copyright. So I have to do other stuff. What do you mean by strange energy? I don't know. I feel like I feel different, and I don't know why. So, because I can't really do cartoon stuff on stream, because my own artistic skills are negligible, video games is where it's at. So, for the past week or two, I've been compiling a list of quote-unquote must-play video games that I think would be interesting. I still need to look through it. It's linked in the stream description if you want to see what I got there. Because there are so many games these days, 1001 just simply wasn't enough. So we're going with 2048. Seeing Real is going great. That's a part of this little bumper thing. You guys can see which cartoon I'm currently on and what's the last episode that I watched. Because I got sick, I wasn't able to watch as much Adventure Time as I'd like, but as you can see, I'm most of the way through Season 2. Yeah, this is BizHawk. It's BizHawk because, for some reason, DuckStation is having I'm having strange glitches with the controls on it. I am way more energized in the summer than the winter. I am a summer person. So that's the backstory of all of this. I'm a little bit tired because I have no idea, but we're gonna wait for a few minutes, see if everyone gets in. What percentage would you say how much of C Unreal is complete? I've done enough of C Unreal for the first year. There's 2 more shows I want to hit. One of them is Adventure Time. The other one is Codename Kids Next Door, and you'll get the other 30 episodes next year. This is actually the middle of my day. I don't go to bed until like 4 in the morning. Every single day. So, yes. The other thing that is on the screen that I have not yet explained, the bids on the top. I want you guys to have some influence over this. So with super chats, you can basically bid on which genre of game you'd like to play next, or you'd like to see me play next, and which decade it comes from. The goal is for me to play through all of these games to completion, whatever that means for any particular game. For this one, it's hitting the end credits. Who doesn't like a good summer before the winter comes? I love summer, even though it hasn't really mattered in a decade because school is over, but, as it is. How's my day? It's been quiet. Now, I think it's time to begin. We're gonna play through Spyro 2. I'm probably not gonna complete it tonight, but we'll go as far as we can. I'll write this file, yes. But thank you for the donation, Charlie Price. I'll let the cutscenes play out, I guess. I did not. Okay, we got spams.
I've forgotten what the sun looks like. We should go on vacation. Somewhere warm. Somewhere sunny.
Yeah, taken care of.
Since we kicked Nasty Nork's butt. How about it, Sparks? You up for a vacation at the beach?
2040 games, who could do that in a lifetime? I can do it. I mean, it took the guy who played all the NES games, like, only 2 years. Do you work with anyone in person? Nope. The worst movie that I reviewed, besides Planes 2, is Toy Story 4 or The Lion King 2019, depending on my mood. Okay, let's skip the cutscene. Ice Bear is my favorite character from We Bare Bears. What game isn't included in the book Games You Must Play Before You Die? Any Spyro game. They didn't put in a single one, or a single Crash Bandicoot game either. I'm going to try to play these games glitchless as well. So we're not going to do the double jump today. Would you like any recommendations? Recommendations for what specifically? Favorite Season 1 Adventure Time episode? That's going to be a little bit challenging to think about. Thank you for the donation, Charlie Price. What Cartoon Network cartoon will you find the most difficult to review for CN Real? We're not doing any of the live-action stuff, but the most difficult to review is probably Steven Universe Future. I don't like it, but I want to give it as fair a shot as possible, so I'm going to give it a second watch through at some point. These games will be played to completion. Not exactly 100%. I'll do 100% if I feel like it, but the goal is end credits. Do you spend most of your time on your own? Yes, I do. Say something positive about Camp Lazlo if you can. Camp Lazlo is not the worst cartoon that I've ever seen. It's not Squirrel Boy. Completing Spyro the Dragon simply means that you need to beat Ripto. I mean, most people have probably played a lot more games than they think they have. Because of, you got small, like, Flash games and stuff, too. Like, the list that I compiled is every type of game possible. Like, we got arcade games, we got flash games, all the way up to the big multi-epic RPGs and MMOs. Some of these games I have no context on yet. I just followed name, so I don't exactly know. How long will this stream last? As long as I'd like it to. Thoughts on Pokemon Mystery Dungeon? I have yet to play that one. A good chunk of Flash games have been preserved using Flashpoint, which I will be using when we get there. I'm due see when it comes to the Age of Empires stuff, I'm gonna use the stuff that I have. So are you playing 2048 games? Yes. I'm curious to see how you complete a game like Gary's Mod. Me too. My least favorite video game genre is stealth. Thoughts on Fixed? That looks like a very not-for-me kind of movie, so I'm not gonna watch it. Thank you for the donation. I'd like to donate a bit for Danganronpa to be next. Okay, I will... That's a little bit specific, so I'll write it down. There we go. Thank you for the donation. Hooray, I'm so glad you took my idea. Look forward to ever get more Zelda games. I do rather enjoy. Thank you for the donation. We will get to Zelda plenty of times. Okay, let's... that doesn't go there. Genre bits. Five. Normally people have stuff to do this automatically, but I don't. I'm quite low tech. Okay. The progress on CN Reel should be listed down in the bottom left corner. And if another donation supersedes what's already donated, all donations will carry over. So, no need to worry about things going to waste.
Thanks for helping me light the lamp, Spyro.
I will eventually have to get the PS2 emulator working for sure. What console generation is the cutoff point for this challenge? I put in Bubsy 4D, so there is no cutoff. Thank you for the donation. That's 10 for Legend of Heroes. Okay. This is working well. But the format is it needs a little bit of work. All right. Yeah, I know that the Trails games are super long. We'll be getting to the long ones at some point, though. There we go. You underestimate my game playing abilities. Why are my chats not showing up? Your chats are showing up. I can see you right there. What made you want to review cartoons? At this point, I don't even remember. What do you think of Adventure Time so far? I have very complicated feelings on Adventure Time. It took to season 2 before I think we got our first great episode with Suzanne Strong. Any flaws with Adventure Time so far? Yes. Oh, no. Okay. There we go. Yeah, we'll take care of the spammers as we go along, though. Maybe have Patreon, YouTube polls so you don't have to constantly pause the game. I don't know how that works. I am almost done with the first year's stuff. I still gotta do the editing, but that's about it. I'll definitely have 30 episodes available, for sure. What's one big flaw with Adventure Time so far? It is very loud. Like, it is very loud, like, just off the top of my head. They do a lot of shouting. And it's never fun when they do that. Do you think Adventure Time was overrated back then? Back then, no, because before 2010 and it came out, things were quite dire for animation.
Spyro, this is...
There may have been 4 planned hub worlds. But that might be on the line of, like, the Light Temple from Ocarina of Time. Are you familiar with retro achievements? Yes I am, and I actually have my own account there. I've actually restarted that a couple of times because I have no idea. I am aware that Adventure Time gets better as it goes on. The first couple of years are quite awkward. Are you familiar at all with Terraria? Yes. That's one that I've never been able to beat before, but it is on the list. Terraria has retro achievements. That's pretty cool. I could have sworn it had Steam achievements. Are you familiar with Shantae? Yes. Yeah. Yes, Terraria does have Steam achievements, so I don't know what the point for retro achievements would be. The 1970s are still the worst decade for animation. I have not thought of Where the Dead Go to Die in years and years. My favorite dungeon in A Link to the Past is probably the Palace of Darkness. Will you remove Oddball? What? I don't know what you're asking me. Yes, I do have siblings. My favorite 2020s animation would be Fry Ren, which is a show I have a hard time pronouncing. Yeah. I live with one of my siblings. Oh, Terraria came out in 2011. That's 14 years ago. Just too long ago. Spyro 3 is the hardest game in the trilogy. Even just to completion, it is the hardest. You need 100 of the 150 eggs.
Hey, look what I can do.
This is Spyro 2. I picked Spyro 2 over Spyro 3, because I think it is the more complete package. I don't know. It seems to be the strongest one of the three. I went back and forth on Spyro 2 and 3 a lot. Yes, I do have the remasters. I don't really like them, though. They look great, but the remasters have glitches that the original didn't, and the movement just feels off. So I'll have to say I'm not exactly a huge fan of the Reignited trilogy.
Even though
Hello. I mean, like, when I was playing Spyro 2 in the remake, in this game, Spyro 2, I actually got a game-breaking bug. How many See Unreal reviews have you done? Depends if you mean the scripts or all together, because I haven't got any of them edited yet, but I've got enough written. Are there any remakes that you feel did a lot better than the original? Yes, the Ocarina of Time remake. Any of the problems I have with the Ocarina of Time remake, I simply have with the original game. The best Crash game is Crash 4.
Spyro, welcome.
Do I have a favorite Flash game? I used to. I used to have Riddle School. Danny Phantom is the Nick show that feels most like a Cartoon Network show. Okay, for this minigame, I do need to focus. Any cartoon remakes that are better than the original series? Friendship is Magic. Like, not even ironically. I don't know anything about Metopia. Like, I will say offhand, I don't know everything about every game I put on the list. My go-to Flash game site typically was always Miniclip. I have not seen She-Ra. I tend to stay away from shows that have a lot of baggage going on. Do you just stay up working until 4 a.m.? Every single one of my days is really different. Hello, Coda. Thank you. Like, I have a few bullet points that are same every single day, but every single one of my days is different. Do. What I mean about baggage, I mean that a lot of people got into stupid slap fights over the show, and it makes me not want to see it. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yes, Ace Academy is on the list. You are welcome. The bottom 5 Nicktoons. This game can be glitchy sometimes. Let's see. There's Sanjay and Craig. Bunsen is a Beast. Adventures of Kid Danger. The Monsters vs. Aliens cartoon. Let's see. I don't know what I put at 5. Maybe Cat Dog, because I remember how bad that... Because that kind of badness just sticks with you. Top 5 Nicktoons are Avatar and Glitch Tex and Hey Arnold. Oh yeah, Breadwinners. I thought I said Breadwinners.
Oh, thank goodness you scared that evil spirit.
Cat Dog is in the bottom 10, I can tell you that much. Like, you either like Cat Dog, or it's a show that just makes you angry. And watching Cat Dog in CN Real was just some of the most miserable experience. I don't know if I say I loved the Shrek movies when I was a kid, but I did enjoy watching them. Yeah, Cat Dog is just a miserable experience. I didn't say Mighty B. I don't even know if I put that in the bottom 10. Thank you for the donation. Let's see. Does it include the sequel to Lost Age? For now, it only includes the first one. So, $10 for Golden Sun. But before I embark on any of these games, I will definitely do some research. Camp Lazlo and Robot Boy are not more depressing than Cat Dog. No, none of the commenters are my wife. Ed, Edd n Eddy is pretty great. What about Bear Con Carne? You mean Evil Con Carne? Evil Con Carne is another cartoon that I can definitively conclude is a cartoon. That doesn't make sense. He's asexual. You know that ace people can and do get married, right? I'm not saying that I am. I'm just saying that they can be married. No, Fanboy and Chum Chum is not bottom 5. I'm not saying it's good, but it's like not that bad. I've seen worse. And I'd even go as far to say is that it's a little teeny bit overhated. Like, I mean, it's sitting right next to Sanjay and Craig. What's an asexual? I'm not going educational tonight. we go. What statue did I miss? Are you asexual or aroace?
Well done.
I am both. Yay. Level complete. Any thoughts on the SpongeBob game, Titans of the Tide? This is the first time that I'm hearing about it. How do you feel seeing more canonically Arrow Ace characters? I don't think I have been seeing more. Then again, I don't keep my ears to the ground with the modern stuff. Can you remember any games you're going to play for this? I can remember a lot of games. You'll have to be more specific, though. Operation Space Monkey? I don't recall ever hearing about that one before. Any reason you're doing this challenge? To keep things interesting on stream. Because it's boring if I'm just playing Spyro 1 every time, all the time, and I'm not a speedrunner. I have not seen the anime, but that one does have me curious. Hopefully, when I do play Parappa for this one, it won't take me 40 times to beat Cheep Cheep's Kitchen. If someone suggests a game that's not on the list, would you check it out if it turns out interesting? We shall see. I am doing fine after the Planes review. Like, it's... I have fun going off on movies like that sometimes. Yeah, I did hear that Greg got fired as Beast Boy. And it sounds like the circumstances in which it happened were very, very bad. I'll have to actually, like, look into it, because internet myths and rumors spread a lot, but I'll have to take a look into the objective facts. Will the wiki have more transcripts soon? The wiki of what? Okay. I don't pay attention to the wiki at all. I believe I may have put All Grown Up at like number 10 on the worst Nicktoons. I mean, it's pretty bad. Like, it was surprisingly bad going back to it. I didn't remember it being that bad when I was growing up. But it's still not the worst thing ever. Rugrats 2021 is far worse. Yes, Planes 2 is worse than those movies. Any progress updates to share for going around? I had to change a lot about the franchise because the other copyright holder has gone insane. I have talked about that in other videos. I don't know which one off the top of my head. Bunsen is a Beast was my worst, but then I looked deeper into Sanjay and Craig. Boop. Well, yeah. I don't think that anyone... Like, it's very rare to find someone whose favorite Nicktoon is an Avatar. Okay, this is the stupidest part of the whole game. Rugrats is better than Avatar. Now, that's a strange opinion. Ah! So you gotta avoid the red fish, and this is all RNG, and it's stupid. Honestly, this is probably the worst orb in the entire game. Because then you just keep pulling up red fish! Why are there so many red fish? Got exposed for OCD? What are you talking about? I was the one who came forward about my own OCD. And I don't know how you expose anyone for having OCD. Yes, this is Pokemon. Come on, don't be a red fish. There we go.
Okay, Spyro, just one more puzzle to go.
Why do you think Lizzie McGuire movie is a war crime? You don't want to know. You don't want to know. I want to know why the Lizzie McGuire movies. You have to see it yourself, but I would say don't watch it because it would be hazardous to your health. Does the Lizzie McGuire movie have horrendous implications like Powerpuff? Kinda, sorta. It also has dog shit cinematography. They hammered their heads in the original, too. I have not seen the Gumball reboot yet. I've been too busy with the Adventure Time and being sick. Have you seen the new Phineas and Ferb? I have seen 2 episodes of the new Phineas and Ferb. Gumball is still part of C Unreal. Yes. The original series. I am so glad that they decided to give the new revival a different name. So it's not cheating or weird if I just talk about the original. Because technically, it's a different show now. I really have to do the top 10 worst 2000s. I watched that. I made that list way back when I didn't know jack shit about anything.
Nice job, Spyro. You pretty...
Okay, that's 7 orbs. I need 33 more. Would Nutcheck still be number 1? I don't know. I haven't seen the Nut Shack in forever, and I don't really think about it. I'd have to rewatch it, and I don't want to rewatch it. When will you do an American Dad review? I don't know. I go back and forth on the Switch version and the remake. See? He's hitting his head. Like, the Switch version is mechanically better, but I don't like the art style as much. And they removed the photographs. Like, I think they got rid of a lot of the charm in the Switch remake in a way that I can't exactly explain off the top of my head. I almost missed these guys. Yeah, I played the Switch version of Link's Awakening. Like, it didn't really hit me for some reason. It's not as bad as the Majora's Mask remake, but I don't know. Like, maybe it is the art style. Or maybe it's a lot of the missed opportunity feelings. I'm not entirely sure. My favorite Pokemon Gen is still Gen 3. Yeah, I will say I'm not a big fan of Toy Link. I have not played Echoes of Wisdom. Boom. Okay.
Look at that. The hula girl.
What is wrong with The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D? It broke the game. Like, okay, I'll tell you right. The most controversial thing about Majora's Mask is the time limit. You only have 3 in-game days, but you could play the Song of Reverse Time to give yourself more time. It triples how much time you have. In the remake, for no reason at all, slowed down time moves faster. They nerfed Zora swimming. And they did a bunch of other things. They nerfed how many rupees you can get from minigames. It seems like if I didn't know any better, I'd say that they went specifically out of their way to sabotage and make Majora's Mask as bad as possible in the remake. There's this YouTube user, Narel, who made a video who went really deep into just how bad the Majora's Mask remake is. It is quite honestly my least favorite remake of all time. And that includes the Silent Hill HD collection. What do you think of Adventure Time so far? It's going to be very, very interesting to talk about. Early on, much of Adventure Time is weirdness for the sake of weirdness. If you have played only the HD version, I didn't get the talisman. Okay. If you've only played Majora's Mask HD, I implore you to go back to the N64 version. I implore you. I wouldn't say that Adventure Time has low random type humor. I just think it's not even trying to be funny, it's just trying to be weird at times. How did I forget to get the talisman? That's the most important one. Interesting. I will consider a Metroid Fusion. I'm still going through the list, and there might still be some duplicates there because when I made it originally, I did leave a few duplicates on. See ya, Gothic Sniper. Do you think the later parts of Adventure Time is better than early Adventure Time? We gotta get there first. Okay. So we're into water. The GBA version of A Link to the Past is not the best version of that game either, but it's serviceable. Thank you for the compliment. Gotta break the bottle. Let's keep going. Even the best swimming controls of all time can flub up from now and again. Is Adventure Time review going to be your next... no, I don't think so. Honestly, these days, I don't think people are as crazy about Adventure Time as they used to be. Like, and I don't dislike Adventure Time. It's just not got the strongest start. Like I said, the first Susan Strong episode is the first time I really saw how Adventure Time hit the zeitgeist in the way it did. We'll be talking about multiplayer when we get there, I guess. Thank you, Blackjack. That means a lot to me. I haven't done regular show yet. So, this is the best level in the game, because everyone sounds like SpongeBob.
We've always had trouble with the gear grinders, but now they've set up force fields to separate us. If you can find diodes, you can use them to turn off the force fields. I think there's a diode around here somewhere, but my eyesight isn't what it used to be.
It's so sad that that voice is not in the remake. I understand why it's not. Hello, Jordan. It's 1001 video games, but double. Basically. Yeah. Tom Kenny voices Spyro. The Electrolls don't sound like that in the remake because I don't think Tom Kenny is allowed to use his SpongeBob voice outside of SpongeBob, due to a controversy involving Robot Chicken, ironically enough. Because Nickelodeon got paranoid that people will think that it's actually SpongeBob saying things that they wouldn't agree with. How many shows start with their strongest episode? Samurai Jack. That's your answer. Is there anything new coming out that you like? I am really excited for Bubsy 4D. Okay. Is the first Avatar episode strong? It's okay. Like, it's not one of the big hitters. Like, the first big Avatar hitter you get is the Storm, which I think is episode 13. I know, like, Bubsy 4D not just sounds promising, it like fills you with hope. The trailer, for some bizarre reason. Yes, like, watch the trailer. They make it actually seem like it's gonna be really, really good. And it's made by the guy, or the team, I don't know which, who made Demon Turf, which is also on my list. And I hear that's one of the best 3D platformers of the 2020s. How do you feel about gacha games? I do not feel good about gacha games, and I specifically chose not to include them on the list. If there are any, I'll need to go through and systematically remove them. Like I said, I'm not 100% familiar with every game on the list. And there's a lot of weird, obscure stuff. How's Bubsy making a comeback when Spyro is... Okay, so here's the story about that. So Crash Bandicoot 4 was super successful. Everyone loved it. It sold a ton. It wasn't good enough for Activision. So they decided that it wouldn't be worth it to greenlight a Spyro 4. That's the story as I heard it. Which is really, really sad. I try to avoid reviewing strictly like adult cartoons. Have you played UFO 50? For a few minutes. It's on the list though. What's your thoughts on Skylanders? I know very little about Skylanders. Maybe one day we'll get the Spyro 4. Good to know. I will remove Genshin Impact. I don't like the Bubsy games either, but like Bubsy 4D shows a ton of promise. Activision has lost license to Crash and Spyro? That's news to me. No, there is none of the Cartoon Network Clash games on there. The list of the games is in the description. It's prone to being edited. So take that for what it's worth. I'll write down that one too. I'll hire for... Hello, Dashi! I'll be looking up the games that I'm getting recommended. Fun divorce? I'm not getting divorced! No, no, not safe for work games are allowed. What is your favorite Halloween video game level? The Gauntlet Dark Legacy Forsaken Province level. Josh Scorcher put, "This is the thanks I get at..." That song is fun, bad. Like, this is gonna be my eternal shame, but I do sometimes listen to it. I have not seen K-pop Demon Hunters. I don't have a Netflix. Cooking Mama 1 is on the list. If you think Cooking Mama 2 is the better representative of the franchise, I'll definitely consider that.
Spyro?
was how bad can I be on that list? Will you do holiday specials? I did a holiday special last year, and I'll definitely be doing one this year. So, one thing's for damn sure, I'm skipping the Lightning Orb mission because that's...
Slides get tricky. You'll have to use your hover maneuver to make them. Press the triangle button during a glide to hover and get extra height. Remember to press triangle when you are very close to the windmill, or you won't make it.
What's the worst Adventure Time episode? The worst Adventure Time episode so far? Probably Donnie. Thank you for the donation, Dr. Theo. That is 10 to Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. Phantom Detective. Okay. Arr. Oops. Why did you kind of slow down on the MLP reviews? Because no one watches them anymore? Like, the fandom is so much smaller than it used to be. Did you see, no, I have not seen, the Rick and Morty, stuff. I haven't been keeping up with that ever since it kind of fell out of favor. Okay. That was a close one. What is the most mid Cartoon Network show so far? It's a toss-up between I Am Weasel and Evil Con Carne. Unikitty is acquired programming, so no. I know of I Am Mean, but I don't exactly know if it would go on a list like this. I'll definitely keep it in consideration. If I come across any more duplicates.
Here, I found this between the gears. You can have it if you want.
The most boring CN show. Mike Lou and Og. Mike Lou and Og is unbearably boring. It is. That's one of the most boring shows I've ever seen. Okay. I have not seen K-Pop Demon Hunters. I don't have a Netflix, and it's only on Netflix. Hello. So what I'm going to try to do is make these streams an every Tuesday thing. That's the idea. Let's hope my voice can hold out. Do you own the exact same hat that your cartoon self is having? I own two hats. I own a baseball cap, and I own a leprechaun hat. Thank you for the donation. Goodbye. Unfortunately, only the first one is on the list, but I will put that up, the donation for the 15 for Danganronpa. Like, I do like Danganronpa too. I think it has the best story of all of them. The problem with Danganronpa 2 is that the gameplay is the worst of the three, and that can make it kind of frustrating to actually play through. Yes, Mike Luinog is more boring than Doug, if you'll believe it. Doug at least has that unique soundtrack, and I could see it being comfortable. Mike Luinog is just... It just goes through the motions of being a cartoon. Which version of Sonic Adventure will you be playing? It depends if I can get a Dreamcast emulator working. Like, I know that the DX port is the worst version of the game, but unfortunately, it's the one that's most accessible. What would Quail Man do? He would find a bomb in the lasagna. I've had good luck with Redream. I'll have to get my tech guy on the emulators I can't get working. Right now, the big ones are Dreamcast and PS2. Those are the emulators I gotta get working. Is Mike Luinog more boring than any other Teletoon shows? I'm not familiar enough with the Teletoon library to answer that question. What emulators do you have? I have so many. I mostly use BizHawk because BizHawk can be used for anything. I have never played a Devil May Cry game. Have you played the Saturn? Not beyond emulator, and even then only for a few minutes. I hope the Jam and the Yi make the list. I don't know what that is. Bayonetta is better than Devil May Cry. We shall see. Is Mike Luinog more boring than the Mr. T cartoon? Yes, because the Mr. T cartoon has Mr. T. What are these things even supposed to be? Like ducks? Everything has gone quiet. Clarence is not boring. Clarence is just awful. I've never had a physical fedora hat. I don't remember having one. Mike Luinog is a Cartoon Network cartoon that the network thought would be their hit next to Courage the Cowardly Dog. The only streaming service I have is Amazon Prime. Mike Luinog is about this girl from Manhattan who gets into this exchange program and lives on an island with 6 people on it. And it's just really, really boring because none of the characters are interesting. Yeah, Mike Luinog aired the same day as Courage, and that's the one that the network thought would be the big hit. It's kind of like when Disney thought that Pocahontas would be the big hit over The Lion King. Exactly like that. Have you thought of playing sand-themed games? I thought about it, but I'm not as familiar with them. I don't think there are any on the list, so... I gotta catch up with Digital Circus, I really do. I would recommend not watching Mike Lou and Og. Like, even as, like, a learning experience or anything like that, there's, like, very little of value that you can get out of Mike Lou and Og. Like, it is the most nothing of all of the cartoons. Like, even its art style is like low-rent Class Key Cupo. Class Key Chupo. I do not know how to pronounce that. Okay. Alright. Do you watch Legend of Vox? No. Where's the cars? There we go. Oh, cool. Skill point. Echo by the Echo Project. Ah, I'll look into that too. Okay. Quit. The list is for this stream. It's just for streams basically, which I guess you can call a YouTube series. But you know, I might do something else with it once I get it refined. You know. Yeah, the natives in Mike Lou and Og are descendants. I don't know if it's specifically British explorers, but like actual explorers. Like, how boring is Mike Lou and Og compared to other boring? It has literally zero original ideas. Everything about Mike Lou and Og I've seen done in another show, and I've seen done better. Indeed. Pajama Sam. Remember, if you want to see a game come up next, all you gotta do is bid on it. I am going to be playing through a list of 1,024 games on stream. Games that I think are a full encompassing of everything that is video games. The good, the wild, the interesting, the fan favorites, all that kind of stuff. Is Mike Lou and Og so boring you would rather watch Cars? I mean, Cars is a movie, but I guess technically it's a shorter movie than Mike Lou and Og is a series. Cars at least has the Rascal Flatts song, which is something. It gave me something. And the Cars memes are actually funny. Which means the universe got something out of having Cars exist. Go down. Okay. Thoughts on playing the cartoon show top 5? I don't know what that is. I love plenty of heartfelt stories. I just don't think the story communicated its heart very well. Interesting. I will definitely give that one a look. Like I said, the list isn't 100% solidified. I mean, the games that people are donating for are absolutely solidified, but other than that, I can imagine Dashi. Other than Planes 2, what is the worst animated movie you've watched? It's either Lion King 2019 or Toy Story 4, depending on my mood. You are not blocked in the video chat. Which one was the Pope Mobile again? That was Cars 2. Yes. Some of these games are going to be super long. I'm hoping that we don't get them too early on. But I know that we're going to... Danganronpa is currently in the lead, and I think it's 16 hours. Didn't feel that long, so who knows? I wrote some comments and they didn't show up in videos. Sometimes that happens. YouTube has a spam filter that catches weird things at times. For like, every single one of these games, I'm starting at a fresh start as possible. So with Animal Crossing, we start from a fresh village, and we go from there.
Our world is wet again.
Why are so many cartoon kids bald? Because they came from the 90s, when I guess that was a popular hairstyle for kids. Mike Luna, it kind of is a more boring version of Gilligan's Island. What if you were to play Glover? I don't want to play Glover. Yes. Like, must-play games does not mean good games. I will say that right off the top of my head. Some of these games, like, I will flat out say, I do not like. Like, I believe Heavy Rain is on the list. I do not like that game at all. I don't like any of the Quantum Dream games. I'm not saying that anything is wrong with Glover. I'm just saying I don't want to play Glover, and Glover's not on the list. Pickle and Peanut is worse than Buzz on Maggie. Heavy Rain's villain is good, though. Heavy Rain's villain is a plot hole and a half. How's life? Life is pretty alright right now. That's... okay. Oh yeah, I'm going to be playing a wide variety of games that you'd probably never expect me to play before. Is Toy Story 4 bad enough to be on your bottom 10 for all times film? Yes it is. Age of Empires 2. That's another game that will take forever. Like, early on, I am definitely, like, that is one of my big ask here. Please don't, please try to keep the length the games are donating for a little bit low, so we have some variety going on for a while. Would you play God of War? It is on the list. Where is the damn seaweed? It doesn't matter. I don't need the seaweed. Okay, we gotta fly through rings. This is the height of 90s game design.
Well done. I suppose I owe you some.
Can you play a Mario game? Lightyear's pretty bad, yeah. There are plenty of Mario games on the list. Most of them will probably be one-stream games, though. Time to fly through rings again. Okay, Superman 64 isn't bad because you fly through rings. It's bad because the flight controls are awful. Flying through rings is fine if the controls are fine, and that's not all you're doing for half the game. Although this used to drive me crazy when I was a kid. This.
Incredible. You've got real talent. I could use
To keep things flowing, I'm going to just be going for completion, not 100%. Was winter 2020 the only winter you weren't depressed? Ever since then, I've used the techniques that I learned that winter to help keep it at bay. I haven't always been successful, but no depression has been bad as the years prior to the winter of 2020. Okay. Yes, sir. What's the difference between completion and 100%? Completion in this game, in this particular game, is defeating Ripto. 100% is collecting all of the orbs and all of the gems. So all I need is 40 orbs instead of the 64 that exist. And I don't know how many gems I need off the top of my head. I need enough, let's say. Are there any Kirby games on the list? Yes. There's Kirby's Adventure, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I think Robobot is on there, and I'm not sure which other ones. But there are a few Kirby games on the list, yes. Do you pirate games? You will not get me to confess. Donkey Kong 64 is not on the list. Why am I taking the... whatever. I don't know this game as well as I think I did. I think I can get a 3DS emulator actually working. How much did I miss? Most of the first world. Sly 2, I believe, is on the list. I mean, to be as upfront and honest as I can, some of these games you can only play through piracy. There we go. I'm not going to be doing them all in a row. If you do decide to take on this challenge yourself And I'm hoping to have the list, like, solidified the next time we begin this challenge. Don't do it all at once. Legal upfront disclaimer. Okay, that's a glitch. Yeah. Knack is an important part of gaming culture. Like, I say that, I sound ironic and sarcastic when I'm saying that, but, like, it is technically speaking an important part of gaming culture now, which is weird. Do you have a video game mascot that you really like? I really like Steve from Minecraft, and I don't know why. Do you plan on making a new video on the new YouTube drama? Not particularly. I mean, YouTube is doing stupid things. That's not news. Technically speaking, you can beat Morrowind in 10 minutes. Like, if you got time, watch on YouTube beating Morrowind in like 10 minutes. The speedruns of Morrowind are insane. Wall-E or the Wild Robot? Wild Robot for me. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. What about Superman the Animated Series? I don't think I've ever seen that one. Yeah, I got a lot of weird stuff on the list. As I say in the description, I used like over 70 sources.
You did it. Now we can swim in peace. I heard that you were collecting these orbs. Please take this.
I'm going to try to avoid using glitches, and definitely no console commands. But, you know, sometimes the game glitches itself, so... Oh, okay. King Flippy is awesome. Yes. Mort the Chicken is not on the list. Save is complete.
Well done.
Yay. Okay, so the game is going to play a cutscene, and I'm going to use this cutscene to go use the bathroom and do all of that kind of stuff. You guys enjoy the cutscene.
Before you get to the castle dungeon, Spyro, I thought that you might want to know how Ripto and his monsters arrived in Avalon. You see, last week in the winter tundra, the professor was working on some new super portal technology.
There. That's the last orb in place. Now let's see. All we need are some coordinates.
Yeah, how about 22475? That's my birthday.
No, Hunter, don't!
What?
Get off! Get off me, you useless buffoons! Why can't either? You?
say something about not liking dragons?
Professor, could we catch a dragon to help us?
Yes, I think so. We'll need a world that has an alignment much better suited to intercepting one of these creatures. How about Glimmer?
Good idea. We better go right now.
I have returned. So, the fun part about this game is that the bosses don't move until you move. So, it's kind of like the opposite of a quick time event. He's gonna stand there until I press the button, no matter how long it takes. So I can pour myself some water. Does using the super flame count? No. The dinosaurs from the 1980s, not 90s, and I've never seen it before. So you flame him, and he does this. He gets hit by Cocoa Puffs. What makes you laugh every time you watch it? Homer Simpson singing the Flintstones theme. I'm not the biggest fan of Skyrim, to be completely honest with you. Gotcha. Just in time. So in Spyro 2, the bosses are actually bosses, unlike in Spyro 1. I have both water and a soda can. Ow. No achievement for me. God damn it. I'll have to figure out how that works. Like, I don't have the capabilities of streaming every single game at the moment, and, like, if a Switch game comes up, we'll have to do some figuring out. What's the next video going to be? It's gonna be a video on Hey Arnold. Oh no! Crush! He was defeated by Cocoa Puffs. No, I'm just drinking plain old tap water. Are you familiar with the band Queensryche? I have heard literally one song from them, and I don't remember it off the top of my head. But it was back from when I was listening to every song ever made, and I remember it being a good song. Well, yeah, you're not supposed to take Ripto seriously. You're not supposed to take any of the Spyro villains seriously. They're cartoon villains.
Cost me a fortune. If it wasn't for Spyro, I'd be bankrupt. If Ripto were here, I'd give him a piece of my mind.
Moneybags is actually the real villain of the series. Actually, no, Hunter. Hunter is the real villain of the series.
And I still know a few moves. Take that. I'm back. Why you?
Like, as a kid, he's all cartoony and funny, but then as an adult, you realize that Hunter is the guy who let Ripto into this world, and he's also hoarding the orbs that you need to beat him, and he won't let you get the orbs until you beat him at his stupid minigames. Do you like David Bowie? Yes. Okay, we're in Autumn Plains. I need some fodder first. Alright. So, as a kid, this was my least favorite level. Because there's one mini game, like the mini game in this level was the last one that I beat it when I was 100%ing this game for the first time. I like their famous song In the End. Alright. I will say, the music is great in this level. This level was also one of the two that was available in the demo. Have you seen The Bad Guys 2? Yeah, it was pretty good. Not as good as the original. Favorite 2D Zelda games, top 5. My favorite 2D Zelda game is A Link to the Past. Now I gotta hope my voice holds out. Do you have a favorite video game soundtrack? I got a few of them. I don't know which one I'd pick. Thank you for the donation. Funny you mentioned Foster's My Gym Partner's Monkey and Out of Jimmy's Head have bad friendship. All three of them share the same writer. That is interesting. Baldur's Gate 2 has a really good soundtrack, yeah. So, this minigame is in two parts. The first one, not a problem, never really has been a problem. Come on. So you don't have too much time. There we go.
Well done, Grasshopper. Take this shiny, thing we found to aid your journey.
Yeah, because of this... Okay, so this next minigame drove so many kids up the wall because it is just... I don't know, it's just like, it doesn't give you... It barely gives you enough time. There's very little leeway. So you go. Two of them. Go this way. Go this way. Take care of him. Like, when you've done it a million times, it's not that bad.
Thank you for helping us against
But it takes so much practice to get that good.
I was going to use it as a nightlight.
Okay. What's the worst Family Guy joke? Probably the one where Peter eviscerates a whale. Was the whale goring in the... probably. What is the worst CN show other than Problem Solvers? The bottom three are Problem Solvers, Mixels, and Powerpuff Girls 2016. Yeah, Sonic Blastman is the thing. It's not related to Sonic. I'm pretty sure the Mixels toys are fine. It's just the commercials that they call a cartoon that's not. Robotomy is top 10 worst. It's probably not bottom 5 worst. I would say that the Clarence review is probably getting the most angry. Okay, Teen Titans Go. I'm not going to go as far as some people saying it was alright or good. No, I still think Teen Titans Go is pretty bad and pretty insulting to the original, but it's like not the worst thing in the world. Like, it's pretty much 4 out of 10.
So sad. Those pesky lava toads have stolen all my friend's bones.
My favorite Spyro level is Charmed Ridge from the third game. It's up to you guys to bid. So did I miss anything? No, I didn't miss anything. Okay. There we go. If you play your cards right, you could be the next Doug Walker. That's a statement I could take in 7 different ways. I have not played the Skylanders games. Tratops is something I'm never going to see the positives of. I'm sorry. The CN reviews start on December the 1st. Which means I get to do the Christmas special in November. Where you guys will get the Boss Baby 2 review. I want to start watching CN. What would you recommend starting with? If you're going chronologically, start with Dexter's Lab. If you want the best, go with Craig of the Creek. Maybe. Squirrel Boy seems like it would be at a very, upper level. Like, it would be number 10 on the worst of list. James Ralph? I don't know a James Ralph. Which is worse, Megamind 2 or Shark Tale? Shark Tale. Megamind 2 is another 4 out of 10. I mean, I'm sure. I know that Secret Saturdays has its fans. It's just. Honestly, that might be like one of the most surprising negative reactions I have. Like, it's not that I just don't like Secret Saturdays. I really don't like Secret Saturdays. So we will be streaming this game next time until I come to completion. Till I come to the completion of the game. I mean, Megamind 2 is bad. It's just stock sequel bad. And anyone who says this is the worst thing ever has never seen a Disney sequel. Is there a Disney DVD sequel you want to talk about in your channel at some point? Quite a few of them. I just don't know if they would get views. That's one thing I just really got to figure out these days. I have seen an extremely goofy movie when I was like a kid. The live-action remake is the worst. No, I have not seen the Brendan Fraser movie. Any thoughts on Quack Pack? I have zero. I've never actually seen it. Actually, no, I don't think that's true. I think I've seen a couple episodes when I was doing the 90s worst list, but it wasn't that bad. Rodney is the worst Squirrel Boy character. Lion King 2 is actually really good. Burp, burp, burp. Do you have D on your list but not D2? Gotta keep room for as money, for as wide variety as possible, you know? Okay, yeah, this level's complete. I mean, we're definitely gonna, like, this is, it's a long haul kind of thing. Boop, boop, boop. No, I haven't seen Fixed, and it doesn't seem like my thing, so I'm not gonna watch it. Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello. Have you seen Hilda? Not yet, but that's one I really want to watch. Next year, when I'm not so burdened by seeing real, I will be able to watch all of these shows that I want to watch. Like, yeah, Fix just seems like a raunchy animated comedy, which is not my genre. I have never seen rock, paper, scissors. Okay, this is the most forgettable level in the entire game. It shouldn't take us long. Spammers are really going at it. What do people get out of spamming? I don't know. They think it annoys me more than it does, I'm guessing. What are your thoughts on Flapjack? Very complex. It's best to give the spammers as little reaction as possible. Thoughts on Transformers Animated? Haven't gotten to that one. Never been too into Transformers.
Hello there.
Yeah, how long has it been? It's only been hour 40 minutes. And this is a long game. If Spyro had a cartoon, would you review it? Absolutely. Do you think you can keep going? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try with everything I got. Maybe. My voice is probably gonna be dead in the next half hour, though. Grace, I believe, is fine. Grace has just been busy with everything. I mean, if I want to get any reasonable number of games done, I have to go beyond my comfort zone. Alright. Who's Grace? Grace is a member of the team. Yes, I know that Rodney Dangerfield made an animated movie. What is the worst episode of The Loud House? I want to say the April Fool's episode where Luann hires a bunch of doppelgangers. That one was, like, disturbingly bad. No, I don't think I saw Toy Story 1 in theaters. If I did, I wouldn't... remember. It was so long ago. Like, I only know that I saw the original Lion King in theaters because people told me about it years later. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, there we go.
You have saved us all from a grisly fate. Please accept this form as a small token of our thanks.
Most 5 out of 10 show I've seen is I Am Weasel. The first movie I actually remember seeing in theaters, this is going to be my everlasting shame, but Dinosaur. Disney's Dinosaur. It's the first movie I actually remember seeing in theaters. Yeah, that one is on there. It's an important game in gaming culture. Why is Dinosaur a shame? Because depending on who you ask, it is the worst movie that Disney has ever made. I have not played any of the Sly games. Like, I will be honest, a lot of the games on the list are simply on my backlog. Do people even like Dinosaur 2000? No. Thank you for the donation. Yeah. My favorite Mario game is Mario 3. Are you saying the Dinosaur is worse than Wish? Honestly, yes I am. Like, I can get some enjoyment out of Wish. I have to dig for it, but I can find it. Dinosaur is just... It is ugly. The Ratchet and Clank games are interesting, for sure. I know nothing about them. Most critics say that Dinosaur is the worst Disney film. Like, even if you take away the ugliness, the plot is terrible too. Like, the hero is literally only right because of dumb luck. I have seen both Song of the South and Mulan 2020. Neither are very good. Can you give me an example of Aladar's dumb luck? His way only becomes the right way because...
Wow, George.
I'd have to rewatch the film. I just remember it being dumb luck. How am I still missing treasure? When it came to some of the series, I did have to make, like, hard cuts. There is no treasure here. No, I'm not going for 100%. I don't need all the treasure. Okay, I will also keep that in mind for Deadlocked. Okay.
Well done, Spyro.
Oh yeah, when Aladar dug for water or found something by happenstance. Or how the antagonist of the film's route was blocked because plot. Thoughts on the annoying orange? The annoying orange is annoying. You bid for a game by donating a super chat. That's basically how it works. You can leave a comment too. Just say what game you want to play. Just try to not suggest a super long or difficult one off the top of the head here. Wait. Bird. I mean, Song of the South is bad, but, like, I wouldn't call it, like, the most racist film ever made, as its reputation leads on. It's bad, but like, it's super boring. Like, it is so boring, there's really no reason to watch it, even out of morbid curiosity. Thank you for the donation, Jordan. That's 20 for a hat in time. Okay. And remember, donations do carry over. So, right now, A Hat in Time is winning, but the other donations won't go away. I will... Gotta fix the text. Okay. There we go. Okay. There we go. Blurp. A Hat in Time is the game that was suggested for me to play next. I'll have to restart this one, though. The detention episode of Clarence is another example of Clarence not really being punished, even when he's punished. Gotta do some wild flying if you want to get the high score on this level. Do you like the Adventure Time theme song? Yeah, I like it quite a bit. It's one of the better ones that Cartoon Network has. Thank you for the donation, Mr. Egg. These arches have just a weird layout. You have to pay the money to do Xenogear to bid. That is what I heard too. I'll have to look into the story about Beast Boy's voice actor. Okay, you guys ready? It's everyone's favorite level in the game. Zephyr! And this will probably be the last level of tonight. Don't worry. This level is fine. Oh, wow. 35. Thank you. That's 35. So that gets us to that number. Yay. You guys have been really swell tonight. Thank you. We will be playing Spyro to completion, which means that the next stream will be Spyro, but I'll probably beat it next time. Burp, burp, burp. A Jimmy Neutron reboot would be interesting. When's the next time you're streaming? Okay, so I'm planning on making this a once-a-week thing. I'm thinking 8 p.m. every Tuesday. Yeah, or about 8 p.m. I started 10 minutes early this time. Are there any games you could play practically in your sleep? This one. That's $5 for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers in the Sky. Okay. Let's see. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers in the Sky. Explorers of Sky. I cannot spell tonight. We'll shrink the text. There we go. I'll definitely make the format a little bit better next time. Retro achievements is something I basically do for myself. It's not really a stream thing. I'll play the Pokemon. It'll be a bit for the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon that's on the list. Is Mondo from Danganronpa okay? I have a friend who really, really likes Mondo. Yeah, it goes by most money bid. And like I said, it carries over, so all these donations will apply still when the next game happens. I'm pretty sure Rebecca is hiding in a basement somewhere. We may have updates about Rebecca very soon, but there's not much I can talk about publicly at the moment. But do be assured that we are still looking into Rebecca and Rebecca's antics. There we go. Not Rebecca Sugar, Rebecca Starlight. How familiar are you with hack and slash games? I've beaten exactly one in my life. Macon, that's certainly an interesting choice. Can't say I've heard Mekon come up too often as a favorite. Oop. Is Rebecca still the worst? She's one of the worst. What do you mean Rebecca was still a creep? She is still alive and she is still being a creep. I have not watched Season 7 of Gumball yet. I'm planning on doing it soon, though. My favorite animation reviewer on YouTube? I don't know off the top of my head. Here's the thing, I don't watch too many other animation reviewers, believe it or not. Most of the reviewers I watch are video game reviewers. Yeah, Alundra is definitely one I'm interested in playing. I hear it's, like, super difficult, though. Like, it makes all of those hardest PS1 games ever lists. But, I mean, it looks like it plays like Zelda, so I don't know how difficult you can make that. Like, it's gonna be really interesting when I start going into some of these games blind. Do you still watch Nitrorad stuff? Yes, all the time. I hope he's doing okay, since it's been, like, 2 months since he put out his latest video. Wait, have you played Cuphead? I have played some of Cuphead. I've never beaten it. And the super difficult games are gonna be something else. Someone get him to play Fallout 1. All you gotta do is donate. Yeah, I definitely know that Nitrorad's videos take a while. Like, they do take more time, but he's definitely usually posting at least one video a month. At this point, he's gone 2 without posting anything. Which is concerning, because I know how much a lighter month gives you a lighter bank account. Oh yeah, his TAC videos are awesome. Okay, so you gotta herd the elephant things. Undertale is on the list, yes. Like, unless I missed something by accident, I've tried to go for, like, all of the most important games in, like, every single aspect of gaming culture. Banjo-Kazooie is on the list. The hack and slash game that I completed is an obscure one called Knights of the Temple Infernal Crusade. It was when I was a kid, so I don't know if it holds up, but I remember liking it okay. If I were to get into Nitrorad, which video would I start with, or give me the best first impression? His video on Bubsy 3D is pretty good. Honestly, most of his stuff, like 2018 or later, there's very few wrong choices, let's say. Oh yeah, Toy Story 5 is gonna be amazing. Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy is on the list. My favorite angry video game nerd review is probably Sword Quest. I think that just has him at his best. And ironically enough, I think it's the only nerd episode where he doesn't actually swear, ever. No, you get up there. What's your opinion on Finding Dory? Finding Dory is not a good. I do not like it. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do 3DS games at the moment. So let's wait on them for a while. His Pac-Man videos are pretty good. Yes, I know about Cool Cat Saves the Kid. Kids. Every YouTuber knows about that. We are currently retooling that property, The Watcher, so we don't have all the details set in stone at the moment.
Hey, Spyro. Hey, here's a little...
Alright. So we are about halfway done with this level, and I will remind you that this is the last level we're doing this stream. We're going to finish this game next time. We're about halfway through, I want to say. At least level-wise. So if there's something to say or donate, now would be the time. Look, it's a rainbow. Wait, there it goes. When I record more than 90 minutes, I get a little loopy. Yes, I have an N64 emulator. BizHawk emulates everything. The problem with N64 emulation is that it's not going to be 100% accurate. That might lead to some weird artifacting. But any N64 game should be playable. And should be a close enough approximation for casual play. Yeah, that one is gonna be an interesting one. Like, at certain points, I may have stretched the definition of what does count as, you know, a video game. Because there are ROM hacks, fan games, all that kind of stuff. The Super Smash Brothers that is on the list is Ultimate. Da, da, da. Do you need a Switch emulator to play Ultimate? Yes. I'll have to ask a tech guy about that at some point. Okay. My favorite show of all time is Craig of the Creek. Come on. Come on. What is the dumbest idea that you have thought of doing? Yeah, you know, I'm gonna kind of make this video. I'm gonna post it to YouTube. I don't know much about the DA game situation. I'm gonna be right blunt about that. Does the dumb idea have something to do with Douglas McDougal? No. What games are currently on your list? There is a link in the description. Keep in mind this is basically the beta version of the list. Hopefully by next week I'll have it a little bit more solidified. I'm going through, like, clarifying that every single one of these games are actual games, actual separate games, are actually in English, and aren't like gacha games or stuff like that. Does Encanto hold up after 3 or 4 years? I would say yes. All right. What dog race is Jake from Adventure Time? Do you mean dog breed? Because so far in Adventure Time, they just call Jake a dog. Just plain stop dog. Blarp. Are there any movies that hold up surprisingly well, despite how old they are? Disney's Alice in Wonderland is one of my favorite Disney films, despite that coming from the 1950s. What do you think of Friday Night Funkin'? I've never played it. It is on the list, and I have a friend who is really into it, so... Yeah, I want 2048 to be the final game. I think that would be fitting and funny. But if people donate earlier, they get it earlier. This is going to be the start of a fantastic journey, I'm sure. Hey, unfortunately, we're coming to a close. I I do have physical consoles, we're just not gonna be using them. Pretty much everything I'll be playing will be emulated unless it's PC native. Yeah, Inside Out 2 is fine. Yeah, I didn't find much point to putting both Arena and Daggerfall on the list. I will accept bids in every single part. That's how we do this. Like, it's a completely ongoing thing. So I'm planning on doing a stream like this once a week, every week. So after I get that treasure down there, we'll be calling it quits for today. And I will thank everyone for joining us this evening. Once a week, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing one of these 2048 streams. See y'all next time. Goodbye to everyone.